Welcome back to 22 Magazine. Vincennes University will host National Portfolio Day at the Becca Student Union on Sunday, September 30th from noon until 4 p.m. A number of schools will be on campus to assist aspiring art students and critique samples of their work. Joining me to talk about the event are Stephen Black, Associate Professor and Department Chair of the VU Art and Design Program, and Assistant Professor Morgan Willingham. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you, Tony, for having us.
Okay. Is this open to more than just VU students?
Absolutely. It's for mainly junior and senior high school students who are interested in the areas of art and design, and that's a really wide array of different vocations and areas of study. But also teachers, guidance counselors from area high schools. It's free and open to the public, so they're welcome to join us for the event.
You mentioned teachers and guidance counselors. What can they come away from this event with, Stephen?
Well, even though it's mainly for the students to have their their portfolio of art and design work reviewed, guidance counselors and teachers can collect information about these schools that are represented there and share that with their students.
Okay. What should students bring with them? What's essential?
Go ahead.
Morgan?
I would say, if possible, to bring a portfolio of work. For students, high school students, junior and senior level, to bring possibly 10 to 15 works. First you want to start and look by what are those strongest pieces. And then from there, try and create a variety of works. For students who are currently at VU and looking to transfer to complete their 4-year degree in art, we would say probably 5 to 10 works. And the same thing applies. You want to look at quality as well as variety. Now, if you don't have a portfolio, that's okay. Come by anyway and gather information from these different schools. It creates a great opportunity, especially since some of these schools are so far away, you may not be able to afford to go and visit them. Well, they're coming here to you.
Yeah. And for those students who do bring a portfolio, the portfolio is sometimes counted as meeting the portfolio submission requirement at those schools. So students have an advantage if they can bring a portfolio of their work, and there's a really big advantage to having an outside reviewer look at their work. Students in our classes and in high school classes have their teachers outlook and review in the context of a class, but to have an outside reviewer look at your work can kind of confirm and help you strengthen your portfolio.
A critical second eye, if you will.
Exactly.
Is dressing appropriately important for this event?
I would say so. If you can, you want to look your best, but at the same time, you want the person who's reviewing your work to get an idea of who you are, a sense of what your personality is.
There's quite a long list and quite an impressive list of schools that are going to be at this event, some international.
Yeah, we have a big surprise this year. The École Parsons from Paris, France is sending a representative, but we have schools coming from Chicago, New York State, Los Angeles, California. The Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising is coming. But we have 22 schools coming from all over the country coming to review our students' portfolios, as well as students from the area high schools. We've had students even come from as far away north as Chicago to our Portfolio Day event because of its scale and the way that it's laid out. At some of the larger events in the bigger cities, it can be really difficult to get your work reviewed by some of the more popular schools, because the lines would be very long. Well, at VU, there's a special advantage of it being a smaller event, and so all of those schools reviewing portfolios are all in the same room, and a lot of times the lines are shorter, so it's a really big advantage for students, if they can make it, to come to our event.
How did this event come to VU? I know you've held national portfolio days in the past, maybe not as large a scale as this one, but how does one of these events come to VU? Do you go out and solicit schools to come in?
Well, it's a series of events that happen. First of all, we're an accredited member of the National Association of Schools of Art and Design. And since we have that accreditation, we're permitted to also become affiliated with the National Portfolio Day Association. And as a member of that association, we're eligible to propose hosting a National Portfolio Day. And we've worked in cooperation with Herron School of Art, IUPUI, up in Indianapolis, to kind of share Indiana's hosting events. So every other year, Herron will host the event, and then in the second year, we'll host the event. So we kind of take turns back and forth.
So some networking has paid off in bringing this event here.
Absolutely. But we'd encourage students from Indianapolis, from in northern Indiana, and in Illinois, Kentucky, anyone who's within earshot of this broadcast, if they're interested, for those students, especially junior and senior high school students, to attend.
I think you alluded to this a little bit, but the schools will also be providing information possibly on scholarships, admissions to their schools, that sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. The schools will not only review portfolios, but they can give you an idea of the majors offered, scholarships available to students, both new students as well as transferring students who might be already attending VU, what those amounts would be, what the cost of the programs would be, so the students can really set in place kind of a program of study and kind of a career pathway.
Stephen, this is also a good opportunity for your program to recruit students from the junior and senior classes in high school as well, is it not?
Oh, absolutely. And the surprise is that a lot of times when people think about going into fields related to art and design, a lot of times they'll think of just the painter or just the sculptor. Well, there's that, but if you think about it, the person who designs the car body, for new models of cars,
yes.
The person who designs furniture, who designs the clothing that we wear, they are artists and designers as well. And those fields need to be filled, and if there's students who are interested, it might as well be them.
What does the VU program have to offer? Let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, we have a couple different majors in the art and design department. We have our studio art major. We also have pre-art therapy, art education, graphic design and visual communications, as well as our new major, which is art studio photography concentration. And also besides that, Vincennes University also has a graphic design occupational program.
That's specifically suited for those students who are interested in coming to VU, earning their associate degree, getting that core general education requirements, plus the training to be job ready once they've finished with their program. Now that's the graphic design program in the occupational area. The graphic design program that we offer in the art and design department is transfer oriented. So that's for those students interested in studying graphic design, getting their first 2 years at VU, and then transferring on to another 4-year degree to finish their junior and senior years and earn a bachelor's degree.
Who are some of the students from your program that have moved on to bigger and better things?
Well, recently we had a local student. Her name was Emily Lowe, and she went to University of Evansville to study pre-art therapy after she finished with our program here in pre-art therapy. And in the past, we had a student named Casey Eskridge, who's come back as a celebrated or honored alumni. He started in graphic design at VU in the transfer program. Then he transferred to Heron School of Art, where he fell in love with sculpture, and he ended up working for the Franklin Mint doing figurative types of sculpture, and now does commission work beyond that. So he's got his his career path has changed and evolved as he's gone through, but that's part of the beauty of studying art and design, is that you discover new things and you get excited about the creative opportunities out there.
So I was going to say, then students attending your National Portfolio Day, they may come in thinking about perhaps painting or some kind of graphic illustration, but it will expose them. These schools will talk about the other types of art programs that they have at their schools.
Absolutely, absolutely. And if you think about it, even in an area like painting or sculpture, when we watch a movie, we don't think about a movie being related to painting necessarily, but when you look at all the backdrops and the scenery and the special effects, there are artists who do sculptures of small cities and small ships and small creatures and so on. They do paintings of backgrounds and backdrops in a very photorealistic style, and those are tied into the computer-generated graphics and special effects. And so you could study painting and end up in the film industry.
Stephen, the VU Art Design Program received some good news recently with the announcement that your facilities are going to be expanding. You're going to be adding a new facility here in the near future.
Yes, absolutely. We've got a groundbreaking that's next week on September the 6th. We're going to be breaking ground for a new three-dimensional art and design facility. It'll replace the former Art Annex, but the areas offered in that will be in sculpture, three-dimensional design, as well as ceramics, and who knows what other fields we might expand into.
Opportunity to open more doors for students to come to VU and learn.
Yeah, and in addition, we're going to be renovating our two-dimensional facility that offers painting, graphic design, photography, and it'll help accommodate the changes that we've made to add the photography concentration.
Okay. If anyone has some questions regarding National Portfolio Day, who should they contact?
Well, our art department phone number is area code 812-888-4328, and we're getting ready to post the information about National Portfolio Day on the VU website, and that'll be www.vinu.edu/art.
What else can you tell us about the National Portfolio Day? Is this a free event? there's no admission charged to the students and their parents to get in?
That's right. It doesn't cost anything. Just come by, visit some of these different schools, and a lot of times you might come into these events with one particular school in mind, but if you take the time, come early, take the time to visit all these schools, you might find an even better opportunity somewhere else that you might not have realized if you hadn't come.
And Stephen, you don't have to run them all down, but you might talk about some of the other well-noted schools that are going to be here on September 30th.
Yeah, we've got the School of the Art Institute of Chicago is coming. I mentioned the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising from Los Angeles. We've got Watkins School of Art and Design in Nashville, Art Design and Film down in Nashville. I've got another list here. Let me take a look. Murray State University from Murray, Kentucky. So there's some area schools. Heron School of Art is coming. Cleveland Institute of Art, the Art Academy of Cincinnati, Kansas City Art Institute. There's a whole host of different schools. University of St. Francis from Northern Indiana. Pratt Munson Williams Proctor in New York. So it's really quite an exciting event. And I might mention too that even though the event lasts from 12 to 4 p.m., students don't need to attend for all 4 hours. If it works best for them to come at 1 o'clock and just stay till 3, they can come for those 2 hours. Or if they can only make it for an hour, it's to their advantage. And they save all kinds of time that they might have otherwise spent on the internet, on the phone, through the mail, gathering information. They can get it all right here in their own backyard.
How have you been advertising this? You know, you said students from as far away as Indianapolis are welcome to come to this National Portfolio Day. Where have you been advertising it?
Well, we've been forwarding information, a poster that was designed by one of our faculty, Praveen Savak. We've been sending that out to Indiana schools, not only the art teachers, but also guidance counselors. We've also been sending it to some schools in Illinois, Kentucky. So we're trying to reach as far as we can with anyone who might possibly be able to get here, as well as sending it through email.
All right.
There's also a magazine called Contacts Magazine. It's associated with the Art Education Association of Indiana, and in that Contacts magazine there's a full-page ad, I guess a promotional for the National Portfolio Day, and that goes to every art instructor in the state.
And in closing, just a few reminders to students attending this event. What should they bring with them again?
I would bring, if you're a current VU student, bring 5 to 10 works. If you're a junior or a senior high school student, bring 10 to 15 works. Try and dress nicely if you can, and have your work edited down for quality and variety.
And again, admission is free?
Admission is absolutely free, and if a student doesn't have a portfolio, that's okay. They can still come and ask questions about programs and so on.
Okay, very good. Thanks for bringing this information to us today.
Happy to.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
My guests have been Stephen Black and Morgan Willingham with the VU Art and Design Program. And for more information about National Portfolio Day, you can contact Stephen at 888-4328 or visit online at vinu.edu/art. And that's all for this edition of 22 Magazine. Be sure to join us again next time. Good night.